Hello and welcome back to the vlog. It is a stormy, crazy mess outside today. I thought it would be a perfect time to sit down and to answer some questions that I've been getting in the comments, through email, through Facebook. Answer just a few of your comments, and I picked out a handful of questions that I thought everybody might want to hear, because I know you guys don't always go down in the comments and look at comments and stuff like that. So these questions I thought I thought a lot of different people would benefit from, so I'm just going to answer them in today's vlog. And I figured I'm going to do a lot of question and answers vlogs, so I should probably make an intro. So roll intro. Okay, now I can answer your questions. Let's begin. All right, let's get started with a teaching question. This question comes from the Uptown Flavor Network, and this individual asks, how are you differentiating your workstations in your 4 choices? So what she's referring to is my small group time. I have 4 workstations set out, 1 on each table, and during one of the rotations, students have the ability to choose which workstation they want to get done. The question is, how do I differentiate those workstations? And the short answer is, I don't. The long version of that is, there's a common misconception out there, I think among administration. They think, and like the word is spreading around, I feel like, that everything needs to be differentiated. Every tiny thing you do needs to be differentiated, and that is simply not true. Think about it like this. We're doing guided reading. The whole purpose of doing guided reading is small group instruction. You're meeting small groups of students where they are at. This is separate than the whole group curriculum. This is breaking kids down into groups based on their abilities and their needs, and teaching them in a small group setting for 10 to 15 minutes exactly what they need to move them forward. That is the differentiation. The workstations themselves, they can be differentiated, but they don't have to be. Mine are sight word, cut and paste, writing, reading, and spelling words. Every child, no matter how low or high on the spectrum of academic performance right now, needs to practice their sight words, reading them, writing them, whatever. That's something that everybody needs. It's not harming my highest performers to work on sight words, as it's not harming my lowest performers. Therefore, I don't need to differentiate that. The Writing Center is just a free write. There's a writing piece of paper with lines on it and a box for a picture. Everybody can write. The lower kids, they're just going to have a picture. The higher kids are going to have a picture with 2 sentences. That's how that's differentiated, but it's really just one thing, and they all are doing it on their own level. Same thing with reading. The lower kids might just look at the pictures. The higher kids might actually read. So the thing of it is, every tiny thing that you do does not need to be differentiated. The purpose of doing small group instruction is that differentiation piece. Next question. This one is coming from Bonnie Savard. She says, yes, write a book. I have 1 more semester, then I student teach. I'm already panicking just thinking about my first year as a teacher. Have you ever thought about teaching at the college level? You would be a great professor. Well, thank you, Bonnie. And actually, yes, I have thought about being a college professor before. When I first started my teaching career, I thought about, I'm the type of person that lives every day in the moment, or tries to, but I also try to have an eye on the future. Like, where is this going? And for me, I just simply don't see myself as somebody who's going to be a classroom teacher for 30 years and then bounce. I don't know. Is my path higher education? Is it becoming a school administrator? Is it something completely different? I don't know yet is the short answer, but I have thought about and looked into what it takes to be a college professor, and the one big hang up for me is, in order to really be secure and make enough money as a college professor, I would want to be tenured. I would want to be a faculty member. To get the full experience of being a college professor, I would want to be a faculty member, which in most universities, I think probably all of them, you have to have your PhD. I was talking to somebody else that she was saying you could teach at a junior college level or community college. I could maybe do that, but to me, What I would like is I would like to be a faculty member at a public or private university. But see, I just don't know if I want to go get my doctorate. I don't want to give the government any more money. Not doing it. So I have thought about that. To piggyback off something else she said, she talked about how she's panicking, thinking of her first year, and somebody in a Facebook message asked if I would talk about my first year of teaching. So try to make this quick, but my first year of teaching. So this is year 5 for me, all in kindergarten. You guys, my first year of teaching was, let's put it this way. I almost didn't make it. I didn't think I was good enough. I mean, pretty much like, okay, day 1 of school, the very first day, I was projectile vomited on. So that pretty much sums up my entire first year. Now I did something, I did a unique thing where my first year of teaching was actually spent almost as an apprentice, where I got to teach alongside a master level teacher, and she showed me the ropes. But it was the whole school year, and I was part of this really unique program in Chicago, and right out of college. But it was so crazy rigorous because I was also getting my master's degree at the same time. But I had a wild class, like twice as wild as the class I have now. Super crazy, severe behaviors. I almost did not make it through. I was there from, I'm going to say 6:30 in the morning till 6:30 p.m. every day. I almost didn't make it, you guys. It was rough. I was always working, always stressing, always overwhelmed. And guess what? That's why I did this YouTube channel. This whole thing is to help people that are going into teaching, or are new teachers, or even our veteran teachers that are struggling or being stressed. You guys, we all have been there, and I would have, I don't want anybody to go on. I don't want any of you or anybody else to go what I went through my first year of teaching. It was horrible. I got a lot out of it. It was an amazing experience, but I almost didn't make it through. It was rough. It was tough. It was stressful. It was just excruciating. And I just wanted to do this YouTube thing to make sure that no one else has to do that. I want to be a resource for you guys to see what it's like to be a teacher, day in the life. See what it's like, teaching tips. I am not perfect. I'm not a perfect teacher. I don't know it all. I just wanted to share what I found helpful to you all, and maybe you can avoid some of the pitfalls that I dealt with. One of the pitfalls being I had no work-life balance, which is the entire purpose of my vlogging channel, my vlogging videos, is to show you what I do to my balance my work and life, how I interact with my wife, how we live together, coexist, mental health, everything, all this together is why I do YouTube. And I would love to appeal to people who aren't teachers as well, who just want to see just want to connect with Kristen and I on a personal level and see how we navigate our lives. But that's why I did YouTube, guys. I started out just because I wanted to help people that wanted to go into teaching. So my first year kind of sucked. Okay, and the last question was just kind of a silly one. Let me just get it real quick. This last question comes from Mr. Noodle Girl. I love that name, by the way. Is that a Maine Coon cat? Bless your soul. I have 3 in there, undoubtedly the best cat breed, and it makes me so happy to see someone else has one. I respect you even more. So yes, Bear is a Maine Coon. We rescued Bear from a PetSmart. We got him when we were living in Chicago. We wanted desperately to have a kitten. We went and we looked all over the place, couldn't find any kittens, and so we went to PetSmart because they had a shelter, and we wanted a kitten or a really young cat. And Bear was the first one to come out of his little hidey cubby thing and look at us. And we looked and we saw that he was 4 years old when he got him, and we're like, I don't know. We wanted somebody younger. We looked at a bunch of other cats, and we settled on Bear because how can you not love Bear, right? I mean, so yes, Bear's a Maine Coon, and he is awesome. One of our better decisions was to get Bear. So love Bear, and he loves being in all these videos. So anyway, just wanted to share a couple quick things with you guys, and just know that no, my first year was not the greatest, but hey, we all are in this together, one community, surrounding each other, helping each other out. through it all, through life, through the stress, ups and downs, hills and valleys, let's be here for each other. I'll try to be there for you guys as much as I can, be there for each other. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to me go on and on about my life and everything else. Find your gift, share it with the world, and remember, you are worth it. See you tomorrow.